Please welcome Mike.
Hi, everyone. So, raise a hand. Who's doing Githopes at the moment? OK, and who's using Terraform at the moment? OK, let's see if I can get out of this alive. My name's Mike. I'm CEO at Causley, and I'm a big fan of DevOps. Now, this says a decade of DevOps, but we know it was 2009 that the term DevOps was coined. But yet last year, we got into the 13th year. What's happened is DevOps has become a teenager. I have a teenager at home. Things get a little bit messy, a little bit smelly, and a lot more irrational. And I think that's what's happening with DevOps today. Yeah. So back in the old days, who remembers Hudson.jar? Surely somebody. Download it, run it on your laptop, you had a build system. It was great. You point and click, and it worked. Soon we wanted to version control our pipelines. We did that. Pretty soon we wanted to write our pipelines, our deployment as YAML. And then we thought, OK, well, why don't we template our YAML with Helm? So we had YAML upon YAML upon YAML. It's a lot of YAML. Sometimes you have to step back and think, what are we doing with all this YAML? Do we really need it all? I'm starting to wonder this. I look at our repos, and there's a lot of YAML in there. That's OK. If you don't like YAML, maybe you like HCL. Developers don't understand it. Operations don't understand it. It's truly the leveler of Dev and Ops. Austin says he saw the best minds of his generation destroyed by madness trying to set up CI. But actually, if you look at infrastructure as code these days, it is a mess of intertwined YAML files, templating, and stuff that nobody really understands except the person that wrote it. It's basically Perl. So can we solve this? Of course we can. We just need to go up a level of abstraction. We've done this in software over and over again. Let's try Gitops. This will solve our problems, right? So remember, the old legacy, traditional, horrible way of doing things was this kind of outdated idea that a pipeline is a value stream of changes to production. You read a deployment is read a comp from a repo, apply a desired state, and push it into the API server. Gitops solves this whole outdated thing by reading a config from a repo, templating the desired state, and applying it to the API server. Wait, this is exactly the same thing as we're doing in our pipeline. What's going on here? But there is an added advantage too, right? Because now we get to run a second CI system in production. Perfect. We're solving the world's problems. Maybe that's not enough, though. The real benefit, right, is that we get to decouple our pipelines. We had this one glorious pipeline to production. Now we get to have a pipeline for developers and a pipeline for operations. Much better. And because of this, we can also decouple the team. We can have decoupled asynchronous teams. We can have developers and operations working completely independent without talking to each other. And the best thing is we can rename operations to be in the platform team. And of course, down at the guts, we talk a lot about this Git. What we can do is decouple the repos from each other. So the developers can have their repos, and the operations people can have their own repos. This is starting to sound like DevOps, right? And, well, you know, we all say GitOps is a best practice, right? And it is. It's basically peer pressure for adults. And I'm glad we're all starting to get on the GitOps gravy train right now. So here's my unpopular opinion. I don't think GitOps is really helping. I don't think it helps bring developers and operations together. I think it makes a lot of complexity and obscures a lot of what's going on. In fact, I would go a little bit further and say maybe GitOps is sabotaging our efforts at working together and collaborating. So what we see is that developers and operations are kind of two tribes going to war, slinging Git repos at each other. Not really talking, not really sharing knowledge, and not really sharing their solutions. But don't worry, I have the solution. For only $4,000, you can get a scaled Agile YAML engineer certification from me. It comes with a printed certificate and a sticker for your laptop. Come and talk to me afterwards. We'll sort it out. Remember, there's no I in DevOps, but there's plenty of YAML. Thank you.